Hello, everybody. Andre Paradis, your coach, your relationship coach, your NLP coach, an educator of effective communication strategies. It's always a mouthful for me. Good to see you today. Thank you for watching. So, another little piece of teaching today for you guys, and it continues with attachment style that I talk about. This one is called Understanding the Avoidant Relationship Attachment Style. Avoidant style. In the world, there's three solid styles. There are people who are secure in the relationship, people who are anxious in a relationship, and people that are avoiding the relationships. It typically falls in all three categories. We'll talk about avoiding. Anxious people are people who don't feel worthy of relationships, so the whole idea makes them anxious. Secure attachment style people came from healthy families where there were healthy bonds, that were able to connect, there was love around them. So they have no problem being able to bridge and attach to people with a sense of safety and ease that people that were raised with difficult parents or poor family systems often struggle with. So this one is avoidance style, and avoidance style is characterized as a deep fear of intimacy and emotional attachment. So these individuals with those styles of attachments have difficulty trusting others, and they struggle with being vulnerable. They're afraid. They tend to prioritize independence and self-sufficiency over emotional connections with others. So what it is they've never learned to bond with people properly, and they have this kind of push pull with everybody. So there's you come to me, hey, and they pull back. And when you give them the space, they go, hey, where you at? Right? So you pull them back in and they go, whoa, 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 whoa. So it's quite neurotic. It's difficult to be with these people. But again, it comes from their childhood, so we don't want to blame them. So the signs of an avoidant attachment style person is they have difficulties in close relationships. They have difficulty to really close up and get close to people. They're afraid. They don't trust, is what it is. They're feeling uncomfortable with emotional intimacy. Emotional intimacy for them sort of overwhelms them, like they're losing themselves, right? That's why they push back. Like you're stepping on me, man. You know what I mean? They have a fear of losing their independence, what I just said, and autonomy. That's the big thing. They're afraid of losing themselves in the relationship. They have difficulty expressing their emotion. They usually get stuck on them, and they can't express them, so they shut down, which makes things difficult in relationships. They often withdraw or distance themselves from others. They isolate. I need my time. I need my space. Right? I mean, we all do, but these people kind of pull in, pull out, pull in, pull out. It can make you a little bit neurotic dealing with them. But if you understand where it comes from, you could actually work with that, pace yourself with that, have empathy for them. Because in the end, they like everybody else, like us, the rest of us want intimacy, love, connection. It's just very, very challenging for them. And the last thing is they tend to be, they prefer casual attachments or non-committal relationships. They'd rather hook up than try to get a girlfriend. Right? They stay on the surface, which is difficult because you can't grow anything really solid if you stay on the surface. Right? People who have really satisfying relationships kind of dive in, take the risk, take the chance, take the plunge carefully, understanding you can get hurt, and that's always the risk, but without risk, you get nowhere. So staying on the surface doesn't create deep, profound bonds that could actually sustain life, the challenges of life, the conflicts in life, and be able to resolve those conflicts together as adults. So how do you heal an avoidant attachment style relationships? Patience, a lot of patience, a lot of understanding, and a lot of talking. And I mean by that, by pulling him into, it's okay, I understand, right? Just ease them into a comforting zone where you're the safe place for them, that you understand, and they can relax with you as opposed to feeling overwhelmed or like, again, they're afraid to lose themselves in the relationship. Be present if you can let go of the discomfort that it causes you, it tends to calm the energy in the space, which makes the avoidant sort of the same thing a little more comfortable. And again, with that, conversation can happen, deal making can happen. How do you date a person like this? The same thing. Do it with patience. You do it with understanding, and you do it with gently pulling them into a connection with you, an attachment with you. I feel safe with you. You know what I mean? So it's if the person is worth it, it's really worth it because it's something. It's actually absolutely fixable. It just takes a little bit of knowing and patience, a lot of patience. The signs that you're dealing with an attachment person, by the way, is difficulty forming close relationship for them, feeling uncomfortable with emotional intimacy again, fear of losing their independence and autonomy. That's the big one. That's the big one. Feeling fear of losing independence and autonomy. They're afraid to get sucked in and disappear. And they have a hard time expressing their emotions. They never could as children. How do you overcome an avoidant style person? You first of all recognize that it's not a permanent trait. It's something that's happened to them. It's something they kind of jump to. And with some self-awareness and some effort, it could be overcome actually. And a lot of patience, by the way, to be able to build healthy relationships. So in the end, understand avoidant attachment style. They can be challenging, absolutely, but they're not insurmountable. There is hope. Yes, there is hope. And if you could develop a healthy type relationship and find greater happiness and fulfillment in a relationship, those steps to overcome are quite worth it. Like I said, if nothing else, find yourself some support. You could practice vulnerability because that's the part that they're missing. You could learn what I do, some effective communication tools that closes the gap, right? To open up because they have a hard time opening up. You want to practice emotional intimacy by developing these connections slowly, challenging the thinking, the negative thinking that comes with those avoidance style patterns, right? So the idea is to kind of ask them, I'm afraid to get hurt. Well, is that really true? Yes. I'm afraid to lose myself. Can you really lose yourself? I mean, I kind of challenge the thinking, the negative thinking that makes them step back. In the end, it's quite worth it. It's not a permanent condition. Like anything else, if you step in and challenge yourself, it could be done. It could actually be done. Coaching, counseling, somebody to work with them and give them some tools. That's some of the work that I do, by the way. So if you're curious, interesting. Two kinds of people listen to these kind of conversation or seek out this information. And if you're watching and listening to me, again, two different styles that I noticed. There are people who are looking for information. They're just curious. They want information. So if you're a information-seeking person and you find this video, you could go back to my website, projectequinox.net. There's a bunch of stuff there. I have podcasts, I have blogs, I have videos, YouTube shorts attached to this, TikTok, Instagram, and all that jazz. But if you actually want something specific, I have a short book, 30 pages. It's called The 5 Feminine Qualities High Value Men Find Absolutely Irresistible in Women. It's also on a website for $9. It's a workbook. It's got questions to answer and make you think. 30 pages. It's really, really good. If you're more like the take action kind of person, if you're brave, you want to take action, like let's get to work here a little bit or look into what that may look like. If you go to the website under appointment, if you book yourself a VIP exploratory call, or if you book exploratory call with me, men or women, there's a short questionnaire for both, for each. That will fill up that questionnaire. It'll get sent to me. I will send you a Zoom link. We can have a one-on-one conversation about what's not working for you, where you're challenged, where you're stuck, what's the repetitive, what's the loop, right? The loop, and you love relationships in your career, in your communication, like you're always that loop. So I'm very, very good at this. So we can find out what the loop is, what happened to you when you were little, when you're smaller, that got you stuck in a false belief loop. Sounds kind of woo-woo, but it's fantastically interesting and easy. And so for that place, realize there's nothing wrong with you. You're a product of your past, which is extremely liberating. And then from there, we can discuss what the future looks like. What is it that your dream life looks like? And I'll talk to you about ways to possibly work with me. But that call is on me. I hope that helps. And I hope to see you on my side. Go get the book if you want some info, or go book an appointment with me, exploratory call. It may change your life. It has for some people just a call on them. For that, thank you for showing up. Thank you for inquiring. Thank you for digging in. And I'll see you on this side.